I'm surprised or disappointed that I'm once again talking about hair follicle testing, which has been a topic of conversation since the FAST Act of 2015 was passed, alternative drug testing for truck drivers.
Here we go again. Where in the world is hair testing? Secretary Buttigieg was pressed at a congressional hearing about where we are at with approved hair testing guidelines so the trucking industry can eventually adopt them. Senator Moran was disappointed in bringing this up again, as it was first brought up in 2015's FAST Act, which I have been covering for 8 years now. Large fleets have long used hair testing for pre-employment, catching 5 to 10 times more drug users than industry standard urine testing. However, currently, these positive results cannot be released for the driver's record per DOT regulations or included in the CDL Clearinghouse database, as they are non-DOT drug tests. The Department of Health and Human Services, or HHS, has been working on hair testing guidelines for nearly 20 years, but hasn't finished it yet, even though the FAST Act placed a December 4th, 2016 deadline. This is delaying the Department of Transportation to move forward with allowance of hair testing as a federally approved drug testing method. On May 18, 2017, 5 senators sent a letter to Secretary Thomas Price pushing HHS to release the hair testing guidelines.
Where is it?
Finally, HHS wrapped up their 60-day comment period for their long-anticipated proposed hair testing guidelines in November 2020. As of right now, the proposed guidelines fall short of what the trucking industry has been hoping for. The biggest problem is that if hair testing results come back positive, a second urine test is required to confirm the positive test results. This means a urine specimen must be collected at the time of the hair test, or an employee must give a urine specimen by an MRO when reviewing a positive hair test result. Not only will this create scenarios where a driver could receive a positive hair test result and a negative urinalysis test result, it also creates other issues such as extra testing costs for confirmation testing, longer driver downtime while waiting for the test results to come in, and complicated logistics of collectors or labs keeping an authorized second urine specimen for an undisclosed period of time while waiting for the MRO to determine if the specimen is needed for confirmation testing. It's crazy. According to the industry experts, hundreds of thousands of secondary urine specimens per day may need to be shipped to 2 completely different testing laboratories, as some labs do not test both hair and urine, and millions of these specimens will be collected, shipped, identified, and eventually discarded for no reason, significantly increasing testing costs to companies. So why are they doing this? Well, the biggest problem with urine testing is how many options there are to cheat a drug test. These methods include synthetic or fake urine, watering down the urine, or slipping in clean urine from someone else. While there are processes in place to catch individuals cheating the system, many people claim to have cheated and never been caught. Come on, guys. Hair testing, on the other hand, is virtually impossible to cheat when done properly. This is because there is no scientific proof that results can be manipulated by dyeing your hair, applying hair products, detox kits, or any other misconceptions about manipulating test results. Additionally, hair testing can detect drugs and alcohol in the system from a week to 90 days, unlike urine testing, which only detects drugs and alcohol up to 7 days. This is great for pre-employment testing. The Vice President of Safety and Compliance at Werner Enterprises said this about their use of non-DOT hair testing. Quote, "The scary part is, while a driver can be disqualified from driving from Werner Enterprises, they're able to go to another carrier that may not use hair testing because hair testing isn't recognized under federal regulations." They go on saying, of the 5,000 positive hair tests in the last couple of years, only a handful of those also tested positive in urine. So only a handful of those would have been reported to the current Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse or to other companies. But what was actually being caught? They said, What was more surprising was the types of drugs we were picking up. The number one drug we see is cocaine, then amphetamines, and then opioids. Marijuana is not even in the top tier. So back to the congressional hearing. Senator Moran asked if there is an update or progress to move this opportunity along.
Mr. Secretary, I wonder if you had any update on conversations between FMCSA and HHS, anything that is progressing or moving this opportunity along?
Let me get an update for you on that, Senator. As you note, there's a dependency between our authorities and FMCSA and a finding that would have to come from HHS. And we stand ready to work on that as that finding comes through.
Of course, Buttigieg did not have an answer ready and will pass on the information to the senator after the hearing. In other words, more waiting. However, FMCSA Administrator Robin Hutchinson said at TCA's annual meeting in Florida earlier this month that revised proposed guidance will be available for public viewing by summer of this year. Can't wait. When HHS releases their final proposed guidelines, the industry will need to wait for the DOT to go through its rulemaking process to allow the use of hair testing by motor carriers. Now, this can be pushed faster with the president, but DOT will likely adopt the HHS guidelines, but it could take a couple of years on its own. Can't wait for DOT-approved hair testing. At CNS, we offer a comprehensive drug and alcohol consortium service, and we are a certified consortium and third-party administrator. Our experts ensure that all DOT rules and regulations are followed, including implementation of random drug tests for you and your drivers, updating your company drug testing policies, they need to be changed every year, record retention, and document purge management. We take all the necessary steps and precautions to keep you and your drivers compliant with the DOT drug and alcohol testing requirements. Fill out the form below or email us at info@cnsprotects.com to learn more. You can also learn more about when to use hair, oral saliva, and urine testing by clicking the link in the bio or visiting cnsocmed.com. And as always, stay safe out there.